let me grab a couple questions out of the box. Okay, so beautiful. Okay.
Y'all are too kind. I
Okay.
guess my
Okay.
parents look all right. I got cute parents. They pretty
Okay.
cute.
Okay.
I mean, but to me, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, we heard the other night um, them talking about exotic women. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
everybody has what they think is beautiful. I just accept what I am. I'm thick on the bottom, slim on the top. You know, I had, big lips before they was popular. I had a big butt before people was
Yo, I
buying.
used to get
You
cracked
know,
on for my lips as a kid,
yeah,
and
me
you
too.
better
Well, I didn't really get
believe.
cracked on, but people was always. I think as a young girl, because I was always um, very shapely.
Hmm.
Like 12, 13, I was. People were over sexualized. They over sexualized black women
They do
anyway.
that to yes,
Yeah, so you don't even have to be doing anything to be over
right.
sexualized as a black woman. However, thank God everything came in fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Butts came in style, legs that matched the butts came in style, lips came in
Why are
style.
you taking
You know what I'm
shots?
saying? I'm just keeping it 100. So thank God I lived long enough for everything I had already to come in style. It just came in style.
Okay, you made it.
I met
You made it.
Tiana Taylor. We made it. Okay. Okay.
You talked about your sons. Someone asked, how old are your sons now?
7 and 10.
7
I
and
have a
10.
rising fifth grader and a rising second grader.
Those are interesting ages, 7 and 10.
Yeah.
10 is like right before they start getting spicy. They
It
start
ain't
getting
gonna be no
spicy.
spice unless they paying some mortgage. I'm old school.
Hey,
We
look,
ain't
come,
having
come.
no spice up in here besides what we cooking with.
Oh, well, come fix mine, okay? Because he's seasoning everything around my house, and I don't appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, how old is your baby?
So I have 4 and 14. Gap.
14.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it. 4 and 14. Yeah.
Baby, you got. How was you with that first baby? 12?
First off, you know what? This is what we not gonna do,
Let me
ma'am.
interview you.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Hold on.
We will not.
A
I'm
14-year-old.
grown. First off, I'm grown.
Chippy, you look like you just got legal to buy alcohol. Real talk. I mean, you know.
I mean,
Chippy, you cute as a bud. I thought you was maybe a hot 24. I don't know.
in real life. Okay.
You
No,
know.
I'm 36. I'm a grown man. Don't play with me.
I see. Okay.
Don't play with me. Okay. I drink my water and I mind my business. All right. Don't play with me.
I thought you was 24, 25.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
That
When
old
my
boy
aunt here
lady
talk about he's
working.
old.
Wow.
Yo, whatever. Anyway, so you got your 2
Chivy
babies.
has got a young spirit. Oh my gosh, I thought you was just like, I really, okay.
Nah, man. No. So, first off,
Okay, all right, you real girl. Okay, okay.
are you done yet? Golly. Listen, you got your 2 sons. I cannot, yo. You got your 2 sons, okay? You got all this stuff going on in the world right now. How do you talk to them about being cognizant of the world and what's happening?
You know what? My sons have watched me do the Trayvon Martin case, do commentary for that. They've watched me march. They've been in the company of Louis Farrakhan. They've been to the White House. They've been to the Million Man March. They have been present because that's what we do as people of color, and that's what I'm showing them to really fight for equality.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course they are being raised a certain way, and what I have never wanted for them is to think that because they live a very affluent lifestyle that they will be perceived as anything other than black once they leave Buckhead.
How do you put that? How do you implant that into your child. Look, I ain't living nowhere close to your lifestyle, but I live comfortably. And I know.
Okay. I'm silly.
So that look, so
Let me know, no, Shibby.
you hit us with about 5 humble brags. I ain't joining your team today. We're not doing it. Look, we got my son has access to a lot of things and have friends with a lot of access, right? We live in the Grant Park area. So
I just got my tax bill. I live in Buckhead. I know Grant Park ain't that far behind. I know they regentrified it more. I remember when Grant Park was the old Grant Park.
Listen.
Yeah, honey,
okay.
Everybody over there shop at what is it? Gap. Abercrombie and Fitch.
That's what it is? That's what it is?
They are slim enough to wear Versace.
You know what? I'm not with you today.
Big thighs can't fit in Versace.
Talk rich. We don't understand them problems. We don't understand them problems. That's big talk.
But so getting back to that. So my kids, I'm into hard news. So we watch a lot of CNN, Bloomberg all night long. And so they see hard news and they know, but they see people come to the house that are, elected officials, and we have hard conversations and they interact with those people. And so they have been put in a position where they hear the stories about crime, punishment. They, obviously have iPads and phones, and so they can see the George Floyd scenario. And my youngest son asked me first, like, why would the police step on the man and have him under the car? Because he just could not understand that. And so I had to explain to him that sometimes, bad things happen to people, not because of anything beyond their skin color. Sometimes people see you and make a swift judgment, because you are a person of color, or you look a certain way, or you dressed a certain way. And so we really talk about what it's like to be Black, and not Black and affluent, but just Black, because you don't walk around with your resume. You don't walk around with your mom's bank account pasted to your back. When they leave outside of my house, they just see a little Black boy.
Right.
They don't know where he's from.
Right.
They don't know what he's doing. And most times they don't care. And so I think, and I talked about this last week on Entertainment Tonight. When I was growing up, my mom integrated her school, I think her middle school.
Oh, wow.
But she never really talked about the, racial struggles, because I think that was so hurtful to them. We grew up middle class, and she was a school teacher.
Your mom was a teacher?
Yeah, my mom's a retired teacher.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love teachers. Yeah.
Okay, so you got some teacher strikes with us. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I got my grandmother. My grandmother's one of the first African-American women to graduate from University of Georgia. Yeah. So I'm 4th generation graduate of University of Georgia. But that's to say, my grandmother, went to Stillman College, went to University of Georgia. I watched her work her way up through education, because people don't really have the historical perspective to know that it has only been a few generations that we have been able to become lawyers, that we've been able to become physicians. We were physicians in our own neighborhood, but, like I went to the University of Georgia School of Law, and the first African-American...
Everybody shouting out, go Dogs.
Yeah, but the first African-American graduate is a good friend of mine. He just retired from the Supreme Court of Georgia. He is not even 70 years old.
Wow.
So that lets you know, if he is the first graduate, it hasn't been that long that we have been allowed access.
I was just, I talk to people all the time about the fact that, listen, if you're in your 30s, 40s, hell, not even some people in their 50s, we're the first generation of Black Americans to be born with full rights. Like, people, it's always like, why y'all still talk about this? Like, what? We just got here.
We just got here.
And we ain't even here. We like
We
at the
really
door.
we are really not here because even in the city of Atlanta, with policing, they did not integrate African American officers with white officers until the 70s to the
Wow.
mid 70s, and people don't
Wow.
even know that. So
So
when
you
people
talking 40
say,
years ago.
yeah, that is
40, 50.
no
Wow,
time.
that's crazy.
And so, and this is a chocolate city. So think in a city where Black people aren't as vocal, Black people aren't as well educated. So when people say to me, oh, Phaedra, you know, why are you still talking about this? Because we need to put a historical perspective on it so that people understand it's not that long that we've had this access. It's not that long that we've had opportunities. I can name 3 of my friends that are the first Black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. So we have not always been at the table.
Right.
And you have to realize that. And so when people say to me, like, even with, you know, reality TV, that is very new. I worked on Being Bobby Brown. I worked for Whitney Houston and Bobby. That was the first breaking ground reality show. And how long ago was that? That hasn't even been 20 years ago.
Right.
But people don't even realize that they're, you know, in the mindset that, oh, they've been on TV, they've had these opportunities, they've had, you know, this and that. But no, we've been allowed to entertain, and we've been allowed to entertain. Okay. You either
Right.
throwing the ball, you catching the ball, you shucking and jiving, or you
Rapping,
dancing.
singing.
And
Right. Right.
That's
Yeah.
where they see us.
So how do you balance that? So like, cause look, you got the reality TV stardom, but then you do all this real life businesswoman stuff. So how do you balance all that?
Well, I mean, I do what I love, and I realize that Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will empires be built in a day. So I'm constantly adding to everything. You know, people that watch The Housewives watch me go back and forth to Alabama for 2 years straight to get my mortuary license, you know, degree and certification. People that know me prior to that, you know, saw me go through law school and, you know, work with some of the best music artists. And so I'm always thinking ahead, like, what's the next thing? Some people know me, you know, some people only know me from Housewives. Other people know me from Tiny and Toya, you know, Being Bobby Brown, you know, Court TV and all these other places. And so my thing is you got to diversify your income streams. And so I'm coming out with the skincare line as well, ladies.
Okay,
So
plug it, queen. Go ahead, talk about
skincare
it.
line coming next week. I'm trying to, you know, get all my bottling right, but
Okay.
skincare line anyway. So what I would say is I'm always thinking about generational wealth because
Right.
I have seen so many of my friends, you know, they became lawyers, they died, but their children didn't pick up the trade or even in the
Right.
funeral home business. You know, you have a great, thriving funeral home and your children don't know the art of embalming or dressing. And so my kids know everything. They put this light up for me.
Come on.
They have been to the funeral home with me. They go to the law office with me. You know, wherever I am, my kids are 3 or 4 steps behind me. And so it's important for me to have, you know, make sure that we're educated, but that they're well-rounded. And so like even
100%.
the other day, you're not, I can't see Phaedra because you have a cash.
Is it? I don't even have the question up, people. Hold on. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna pull up a question. I'm gonna pull it down, but I don't have a question up on my side. Sorry, y'all. I promise. It ain't on my screen.
What?
Yeah, that's
Okay, can y'all
Instagram.
see me? Can they see me? I'm literally
They should be
standing
able
up.
to.
I'm
Look
so
at you.
short. Wow.
But that's a good little angle. Up. Oop. Oop.
You
Ooh.
know this.
We cannot.
I'm being silly, y'all.
We
But
cannot.
and so it's just important for me to make sure that they know. And my son is what I need. Oh, my son said I need a pillow because I'm too short.
Oh, see, look at that. Get that man a raise. Get that man a raise. He
That
doing a
man
good
got an
job.
Olympic sized swimming pool, all these organic whole food meals he helping eat up, child. That
Well,
man got
let me know
away.
what dinner is. I'm pulling up. I need one in the mill.
Okay, you know I like to cook.
Well, come on now.
Oh,
You ain't gotta
thank you.
say
You
nothing
like
but a
to
word.
thank you,
Um,
sis.
we see you. Look, so those of us who see you in the street, see you out there in the community, we see you with a lot of the families of
Yeah.
who have had to deal with victimization and police brutality. Um,
Yes.
you're like there, like right with the families and whatnot. Why is that like a calling for you?
You know, when I really decided that I was going to be on the front lines of this movement, it wasn't about press because anybody that really knows me, I do hardly any interviews. Well, Shiva, you know, because I'm like, I do 15 minutes and I'm gone.
It's for
I'm
real, y'all.
very,
Listen, I just need y'all to know we catching a blessing right now because they tried to hit me with 15 minutes, and I
oh
was
no,
like,
somebody
nah,
said
that's
they
not
can't
gonna
see
work.
me.
Like, come on.
And so, someone said they can't see me, so I'm trying to pop up.
Okay.
But, and so as a black woman and as a mom, I think to whom much is given, much is required. And, the first case that I was really very familiar with was Trayvon Martin. And so I did a lot of commentary on that. But then following that, I was actually in Ferguson when the whole thing went down with the shooting of, and I'm sorry I'm popping up and down, guys. I'm trying to get on my pillow.
You good, love.
With Michael Brown, and I met with his family, went with them. And so I'm never like, these people who sort of chase these cases because I'm good. I'm straight. I don't need to chase anybody. I've never done any advertising. Clients come to me. I don't come to them. And
Right.
so even, with Rayshard Brooks, I watched that and I got calls all over asking me, well, why didn't he do this or why didn't he do that? Because I think people always want to justify brutality by saying, well, if he just wouldn't have done this, this wouldn't have happened. And I said,
Right.
well, George Floyd didn't do anything and he still got killed.
Right.
Tamir Rice was a child and he still got killed.
Right.
Breonna Taylor was sleeping in her bed and she still got killed. So does it really matter what we do because we see the outcome is usually the same.
Mm.
And so it's really not a matter of what we do as people of color, but it's a matter of who's policing us and their background and whatever their issues are with people of color, whatever their interactions have been that make them so fearful that they look at us as predators or look at us as a threat without even understanding. And so once I watched the whole video and I just saw how Rayshard had been so mannerable, so kind,
Right.
so well spoken, I said, okay, I have got to make sure whatever this family needs, and my funeral home, well, Willie Watkins, whom I work with, um, we handled the services, and it was such an honor because his wife, Tamika, said, I really, will you ride with me? And, I'm big on aftercare because everybody's around when people get shot. Everybody's around when people first die, but it's
Right.
really the healing process happens afterwards when everybody's gone. There's no press. People aren't, ooh, what happened? Ooh, ooh, what happened? And so that's important to me. So I've really embraced the whole family because she's a mother with young children.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
two children under 3 years old, an 8-year old, and a 13-year-old. And so just talking to her, my heart went out to her because to be thrust into the media and to have that type of scrutiny in a matter of 24 hours and to deal with the death of your husband is unbelievable. And I got into the funeral business because I had a family member that was killed on her birthday, and it literally destroyed me because I was so depressed. I think I cried every day for no less than 9 months. And so going through that, I knew I had to help other people through it because until you have really went through a death of somebody who you love, and they've been with you, riding with you every day, you really don't understand the emotions that come with it.
Or the death of a child, even a young child.
I mean, and so as a person of color, I just know that God has been so good to me. I have to bless people. I have to bless families. I have to help people. And my ministry is, you know, the funeral business, the legal business, because that's what I know. That's what I'm good at. I mean, I know that, you know, I know that law back and forth.
There you go.
I know that funeral business back and forth. I know how to get through to any politician I want to with a mere phone call. So
what power is that to be able to engage in, especially law, and have an air of celebrity about it too? Do people come at you different?
You know, and you met me, of course, you know, because people, they watch TV and sometimes they're silly enough to believe that everything they see on TV is actually the truth. And so
it ain't like that.
Well, I mean, you know, intelligence tells you that TV is for entertainment. If it's an entertainment show, if you want to see the truth, you turn on, you know, CNN, or you turn on the news. Okay. But that being said, people who truly know me and they have sort of watched me, because I was protesting in college. They had the Daughters of the Confederate was at my undergrad with a whole little sect. Chocolate, call me. Tell Chocolate to call me in a minute. And Chocolate is a girl, you know. I know these people are so silly.
Who Chocolate? Who's she talking about?
But yeah, so people that know me, I am probably, as you know, very sincere, very lighthearted.
Right.
Very just calm and peaceful. You know, I like to have fun, you know, but you really can't put me into any box. You know, I can be super serious. I can be super silly. You know, I can be multifaceted. And I think sometimes when people hear lawyer, they have a certain thought about what lawyers are. They
like you might be stiff or something.
Yeah, when they hear funeral director, they think I'm going to be a man with cold hands, you know. Oh, you embalm people. Yeah, but I still have beautiful nails. Check it out. You know, so I think people have these very small views of what people can be or what people should be. And they sometimes don't give people the opportunity because they're basing it on things that they've learned or just stereotypes that aren't really accurate.
What do you want?
As a black man, I mean, you're attractive and you look very youthful. I thought you was 20, but you know what I'm saying. So, but you're not. You're really grown. So
Newsflash.
Gotta find a crosswalk.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you got me? Okay. You here?
Okay, I'm back.
You collected?
Yes. What are you doing, child? Sorry. My son is in the room. I don't know what he is saying.
Yeah, can he say hello? Can you say hi to the people? Or nah, it's cool.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man?
So this
How you feeling, man?
10-year-old, and he's almost as tall as me. This is Aiden, Prince Aiden.
What's up, Prince Aiden? How you doing, King?
Good.
Good. Aiden, what is one beautiful thing about your mom that you want the world to know?
Well, don't take too long.
Sorry.
He said it's too many things, Mom. It's too many.
You don't say something.
What's your favorite thing about your mom, Aiden?
She's funny.
She's funny. Does your mom make you laugh all the time?
Not all the time, but she's really funny sometimes.
Boom, there you go. Good answer. Good answer.
That shout and said she got good nails. What?
What? Look, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to know you for and laud you for?
Well, I don't think it's one thing because I've done so much. I just want people to know I really affected change. And I was really a conduit for change. Change in, TV, change in the legal profession, change in the funeral profession, um, change for people of color. Because when I am, doing all the many things that I do, it's really in an effort to open up the doors for other people who look like me. And so, I have a scholarship for University of Georgia that is specifically for first generation African American children. And I pay their tuition from the first year all the way to the third year.
Wow.
So that they can matriculate without worrying about any cost. Because sometimes we aren't able to get a legal education because we can't afford it, or you're in law school and you can't really give it the appropriate attention because you're working. And so
right.
I do that scholarship. Obviously, I have my foundation in Flint, and I did that. Well, my foundation is worldwide, but I have really, over the years, focused on basically social justice.
Gloss over the worldwide. Just talk about it like it's regular, okay?
But, it really started out of a desire to expose children who would not have the opportunity to go to summer camp and to be in places with people that were powerful. Yeah. And so I do camps in Flint, Michigan. I've been there numerous times to protest and speak about, the inequalities there for people of color and the underbelly of society, which is usually poor people. Right. So I just want people to know that, or just to remember me for affecting change and really, being grassroots, being.
Somebody said they should remember you by Phaedra help somebody.
Hallelujah.
That sounds good.
I like that.
I like that.
Sometimes, you get caught up in things that don't matter, but, you can redirect and, no one is obviously doing everything that they want to do, but I think as people of color, when you get to a certain level, you have a duty to reach back and bring people up. And so, I see a lot of people comment.
What does that look like for you?
Whatever I'm doing, I'm always trying to shed people that know me from Housewives, when I took them to the White House and I took them to meet with the congressman and I took them, to the Million Man March. I did that so that people knew that while you were supposedly seeing these affluent Black women, that there are other people who were suffering. I took them to Flint so that they could see, like, don't be fooled by television and, all this other stuff. There's really a whole underbelly of people who are barely surviving because they don't have a seat at the table, and they won't get a seat at the table unless someone brings attention to the plight of those people. And so I'm always, having those difficult conversations. And now, thank God, it's fashionable to be with the Black Lives Movement because now people, want to hear about the struggle of Black men, the struggle of Blacks in media, the struggle of Blacks in corporate America, the struggle of Black lawyers. Because, I tell people in 1999, I was the first woman to be an attorney at the law firm I worked at, the first woman and the first Black person.
Wow.
That was 1999.
Wow. We out here making history like yesterday. That's crazy.
But what I'm saying, that's in Atlanta. That's not in some, small area that doesn't have, that's in Atlanta, in Buckhead.
Right.
And so somebody put up Frederica Wilson. Yeah, she is one of my mentors as well. And she has a 5,000, my organization is patterned after her. She has 5,000 role models. And basically what they do is put 5,000 African-American boys through a mentoring program. And when I saw her program, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, because I know that so many Black men, whether they're young or old, they need so much encouragement. They need so much push, that we all collectively have to do our part as Black women, and white people, our allies. We all need to really recognize what's going on in the community. And so, you know, my good friend Cedric Richards from New Orleans, he's, you know, has been one of my best buddies, and we really have pushed getting the message out there about Black men and about Black people, and, you know, the disparities in our communities, because a lot of my, you know, wealthy white friends don't understand it, because they haven't left their communities to see what's going on in our communities. And a lot of times as people of color, once we get to Buckhead, we don't go back to Bankhead. Well, I'm on Hamilton Road every weekend, because I know I need to take my boys over there, because they need to realize, like, we got to make sure that it is full circle for everybody. And I think, you know, when people ask me, well, where did we go wrong? We stopped telling the very hard stories. I have to tell my children, I graduated from law school in a class of 220 people. 12 of those people started me was Black, but only 8 of us graduated. So that means 212 white people graduated and 8 Black people. Wow. And that was in 1999. You know, so that's the hard story, is hearing facts like that, because people assume, oh, you know, for 400 years you guys, you know, haven't been slaves. But you're not talking about, you know, the issues that we've had with voting. You're not talking about the disparities we've had with being able to be owners and have true ownership, and being able to purchase and buy and have power outside of in our small circles.
For sure. And the thing is because without ownership, like, the reality is, your boss will never pay you enough to be their neighbor. And so working for other people is never going to get us the generational wealth that we talk about, that we want, that we need. It ain't going to happen through working for other people. It's not.
But at the same time, you have to work with someone to learn your craft. And so I see, you know, and so I always tell this to people, never be afraid to work up under somebody, whether it's an internship or whether it's a job, because you have to know how to work. You know, no CEO walked out of college and became a CEO. They had to work their way up. And I tell people that coming from the law office to the funeral home, the only way you will own one is to know every job in the business. How to make coffee, how to bury the people, how to dig the graves. I can dig a grave, I can embalm you, I can dress you, and I can do your makeup. Because nobody in that funeral home is ever going to say, if I walk out, you won't be able to survive. No.
If you would have said all that from the lawyer approach, I would have felt all that. That mortuary approach just kind of, it was creepy a little bit. I didn't need to know. You could stuff me. Like, I ain't need to know
what your bangs look like. Let me see what.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? In every job, in order for you to know and be powerful, you got to know what everybody is doing. You got to know how to answer the phone. You got to know how to type. You need to know how to file the stuff.
Right.
If somebody wants to walk out, you need to be able to say, "Dude,
I got it." Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, you keep that energy when your people don't show up to prop your phone up and get you right the next time you have an IG live and stuff. Okay. You better know how to prop that phone up next time. Okay.
And now the phone about go dead. Jesus.